you. Good to see you.
Likewise.
And I just have to say, you're the guy who had so many hats in regards to this project, not only being the actor, but director and writer, and I wouldn't doubt craft services as well. Uh, First, even in regards to the story, where did this all come about? I mean, this was an interesting ride to go on.
Thanks. Yeah. Well, I'm from a city. I'm from Boston, and it's very, very unlike Texas. West Texas specifically. And I wanted to not go to the typical place in a movie and not tell the typical story. So I started with a guy who was a lot like myself, for better, but especially for worse. A guy who was kind of shallow, dating whoever he could, disconnected without realizing it, not as cool as he thought he was, in New York, who I wanted to pull him into a different place. And looking at a map, I thought, well, that's a place that's pretty different, even a little scary to me. Let's figure it out. So I went on a lot of trips there, and for a movie called Vengeance, I knew that would be a really special setting.
No, that's for sure. And also that was one of the interesting and fun parts to see, like when your character goes down to Texas and has to meet up with the family, and just how you realize we're all in the same country, but everybody's different.
Yeah, everybody's different. And yet, when you actually spend time with people, you find out how similar they are, at least their hearts. But yeah, when you first sit down, it's it's sort of like Meet the Parents with a real 2022 twist.
That's for sure. And I gotta say, a lot of times when you start watching a movie and you see what's going on in your mind, like anyone, you're sitting there going, okay, I think I know. I think I know. In this one, you don't know, but that just made it the best thing.
Yeah.
To watch.
Yeah, well, in a comedy, it's okay if you know a little more the way things are going because the jokes are going to surprise you. But because I also had, genuine mystery in it, and I know a lot of true crime fans would be interested in a movie that is about true crime podcasts, I was like, well, let's also take this guy in some twists and turns.
And then also for you, I mean, what was it like directing your first film? I mean, that's also got to be a daunting task no matter what.
Well, I asked for a lot of advice, and the best advice, as with everything in life, the best advice is often the simplest. So I actually got a chance to talk to Al Ruddy, who produced The Godfather, and he said, you only need to know two things to direct: what you want and how to get it. And even though that was very does that even mean anything in a Yoda way? It actually gave me the confidence to direct, because I thought, okay, if I know what I want, if I can see the movie in my head, and I know how to get it, which generally always means ask people who know more than you do for help, you can get it done. So that advice really carried me through.
Oh, that's fabulous. Also, Boyd told me about the book that you gave him at the beginning for him to read. And we both talked about it, even with the title. Yeah, a lot of times with comedy, once you watch it or listen to it, comedy is reality.
Yeah. Yeah. I learned that from Steve Carell. Gave me that book, or told me about that book. I had to buy it myself. Actually, he should have given it to me. No, just kidding. But no, I did learn about that from Carell, and he told us all about it at the beginning of the TV show The Office, because he really wanted all of us to make The Office, as funny and crazy as the situations were, these were real characters. And the funny thing was that real people with all their personality traits would have to deal with each other in this way. So I took that lesson into this movie, and Boyd hadn't done comedy before. He's an amazing dramatic actor, but I told him about that book because I wanted him to bring everything that makes him great in drama into this story.
Well, fantastic. And it all worked out well. BJ, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it and really enjoyed the film.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, you take care. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too.
Hey, Boyd, how are you?
I'm doing really well. Good to see you. How are you doing?
Doing well. Good to see you too. Like your background and everything there looks sharp. All right. Gotta say, when you first hear the title, Vengeance, you're thinking, okay, which way is this going to go? This movie definitely takes you on a ride that you would not believe. You think it's going to be just a strict comedy, but it winds up being so much more, though, doesn't it?
Vengeance, yeah, I think BJ's done a terrific job with this story and creating this clash of culture, and just really a fresh commentary on our states.
Mm-hmm. Nope, that's for sure. And your character Ty, I mean, his thing is he wants to get justice for his sister and find out what really happened. And it winds up like, again, not being as clear cut as we think when we're watching the beginning of the movie, which makes it great.
Yeah. Yeah. Ty is he's a guy that wears his heart on his sleeve and is a very impulsive person, really functioning just out of a deep sense of love for his sister and trying to find out what happened to her. So when he meets BJ's character, Ben, and finds out that he is this sort of unicorn of an intellect out of New York who must be his godsend of a savior to figure out what's happened to his sister.
And speaking of which, like you said, he's from New York, you guys are in Texas, and it's kind of, that's one of the funny parts, of course, when he meets the family.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the differences of, how everybody is towards each other.
Yeah, that's really where all this comedy is drawn from. And BJ has done such a wonderful job and thorough research going down into Texas and authentically capturing that voice. He's such a wonderful writer, and I'm so impressed of him producing this and acting in it and then directing all of this in this film. It's really, I don't know if people understand how difficult that is.
I mean, it's got to just be difficult enough. You know what I mean when I say this, to act in a movie. Having just to get that part down. Like I said,
to get your job right, to make the choreography and just the simple technical things that are overwhelming of the composition and getting everyone to flow in the right way, and then to give them direction, and then while maintaining to stay in your headspace and give your performance is no easy task.
No, that's for sure. And like you said, this was his first directing job as far as a movie. Talk a little bit about that. What was he like as a director?
BJ is such a kind and smart guy who's really open to a lot of different interpretations and ideas. He gave me a wonderful book at the beginning of this called Truth in Comedy. And coming from playing more, dramatic and serious roles, just a really good reminder that we're not playing jokes here. We're not playing for the comedy. We're playing the truth and the reality in this, and then the comedy will happen to that, and that'll take care of itself. So really, just put you in a way that he was co-piloting and piloting you to all these moments that were just really fresh and authentic, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Fantastic. And like they always said, comedy is truth. So like you said, that's fantastic with that.
Unfortunately, yeah, you gotta laugh. Yeah.
Right. Well, boy, thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed the film, and take care. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
See you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.